It's also why I'm not a huge fan of all these channels that focus just on enjoy the process. Why would you focus on that when you should focus on panicking?
Absolutely true. What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today we're going to be losing our sanity together as we scroll through some beautiful TikTok art tutorials. So please sit down, buckle up, grab your popcorn. If you're pooping, hey, hell yeah, brother, push.
Why is everybody so serious?
All right, I gotta mute this. This is gonna get me copyrighted. All right, face tutorial here. So this is what you're not supposed to do. Jesus Christ, that kind of looks like me. All right, so this is what you're supposed to do, and let's see here. Okay. Now, yeah, that looks good. Okay, all right. The final results here look fantastic, but maybe I'm stupid. But like low-key, these lines here that you're drawing are kind of pointless. Like, what are they doing here? What? So it looks to me like we're connecting the inner corner of the eye down to this arbitrary line that somehow starts at the base of the earlobe. Quite frankly, that makes no sense to me. I've never heard of such a measurement on the human face. So if you want to draw a nose or any kind of side profile, just remember, okay, from your hairline to your eyebrow is 1/3 of your face. From your eyebrow to the bottom of your nose is 1/3 of your face. From the bottom of your nose to the bottom of your big old chin is the final third of your face, okay? 3 equal thirds. The opening of your mouth where tons of beautiful things enter and leave starts at just above the halfway point in this final section. It doesn't just magically line up with your earlobe, okay? That depends on the angle that you're viewing the head from. See, here it's lining up, here it's not lining up. 3 out of 10, please understand the construction lines you're putting down. How to achieve better hatching? Okay, first of all, that is some beautiful hatching right there. My goodness. First, take note of the lines' distance from each other. The nearer they are to each other, the darker an area appears. Absolutely true. Next is line thickness. You basically just draw thick lines on dark areas. That is also true. If an area is really dark, I smudge, then draw lines on it again. Okay, so a lot of repetition, a lot of layering. Yep, that's how you do it. Bonus tip, if you want your highlights to become more visible, draw an outline on one of its sides. Interesting. Very beautiful, very stylized, and these tips are absolutely gold, especially if you like drawing in a sketchbook. It just comes down to this, okay? The more dense you make your lines, the darker that area is going to appear. 10 out of 10. How to draw everything in 3 steps. I have a suspicious feeling that you might be oversimplifying things a bit, but let's see. Step 1, select which shape you want to draw. Oh, I like what I'm seeing here. Step 2, draw the line of action, direction that the shape will follow. You know what? I think I know where you're going with this. Step 3, draw the selected shapes along the lines of action and manipulate them. I love manipulation. Okay. With this technique, you can draw... Jesus. With this technique, you can draw almost anything. Yes, you absolutely can. Did you have to add the nipple there though? God dang. So this video, even though it is very basic and simplified, captures the essence of a very important fundamental, and that is understanding the 3-dimensional shape of the subject that you're drawing. Let's take this cup, for example, okay? What's the main shape of this cup? Well, if you understand your 3-dimensional shapes, you would know that this is an upside down cone. Once you know how to draw that upside down cone, you can draw this cup no problem. What are the shapes in my head? Well, there's a round sphere shape for my cranium and a triangular wedge for the front of my face. My rib cage is an egg. My arms are cylinders. Everything can get broken down into shapes. So this concept, broken down in this way, absolutely fantastic. 10 out of 10. How do I film my art videos? You know what? I need help with this. Tight shot, POV. That's a cool shot. Okay, close up. Overhead shot. I like that a lot. Blurring shot. Make it look more cinematic. This is very cinematic. Back shot. This is not even a back shot. You put this in on purpose, didn't you? What are we doing here, Shella? What are we doing here? Are we goon baiting?
It took me 20 years to learn these art gems, but I'm going to share them with you in 2 minutes. Number 1, creating is exactly like breathing. You inhale inspiration by living and exhale artwork. And most importantly is the space in between breaths, or in other words, rest. If you try to skip any of that process, you will creatively burn out just like you would pass out. Number 2, keep a sketchbook. Just like your bedroom, it's a reflection of your mind. It's a living platform for your ideas to grow, breed, and evolve. Number 3, start with the basics. Don't try to jump into complex techniques. You're just going to frustrate yourself. Start with color theory, perspective, composition, and then it will all just click. Number 4, aggressively experiment with different mediums like pencils, charcoals, watercolors, oil paints, acrylic paints, pastels, you name it. It's going to strengthen your fundamental skills And also you'll find out what materials and mediums you like.
Okay, we're not even halfway through this video, but I'm about to break my neck from nodding in agreement. He is literally speaking enough facts to fill a textbook.
Number 5, practicing regularly doesn't mean you have to do something big or accomplished. It just means keeping the creative tap open, even if you do something like a 30-second sketch a day. Number 6, actively expose yourself to different environments and other artists' work. You'll subconsciously download things that you like, and you will also develop your own style as you do that. Number 7, try to make mistakes. It sounds counterintuitive, but you actually will find out and discover a lot of things that way. Number 8, get feedback specifically from other artists if you need it when you're creating. They have the technical knowledge and the eye to help you see things with a new perspective that you hadn't seen before. Anything else is a critique on the meaning of your work, which is irrelevant at that point. Number 9, keep your art supplies organized. You actually save time because you can find things, your space is clean so you can create with a clear, focused mind, and it's a safer environment because some art materials can be dangerous to work with. Number 10, figure out if creating for other people energizes you or drains you, because then you'll know whether you should make money doing commissions or in some other artistic ways. Hope that helps. Peace.
Okay, so that was 2 minutes long, and apparently 2 minutes is all it takes for me to fall in love. What an absolute gem. Now, if you're out here putting out more videos and more content like this and putting art babies on the right path, man, you've got 300% of my support, man. Oh my God, this is good. 11 out of 10.
Here's a quick little realism tip. Now, this is a work in progress, still working on it, but I want to show you something that...
Stop! You realism artists, you disgust me. How could you call this masterpiece a work in progress? God, you people are unbelievable.
It has to do with reflected light. I call it the color multiplier. Okay, so if you look under my neck, ready? See how when I put my hand under there, my shadow, this color becomes more saturated? That, well, see the difference? It's a little hard to tell here. Under your eyebrow, under your nose, under your lips, right here. Look, do you guys see the reflected light going on my bottom lip? These are all places where you see that reflected light. Now, what does that mean? Especially when you have like fleshy color bouncing onto fleshy color, it's intensifying the colors there. So one of my favorite places to do this is in the lips. Your top lip and your bottom lip are going to be reflecting onto each other. What I like to do is I will go in with some of my most saturated reds, okay? And I'll just glaze them into the very center and inside of the lips. I haven't done it yet, but I just wanted to share that tidbit.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, we're coming across some good videos today, guys. This phenomenon where you have a bright object near a shadow and it brightens up the shadow is called bounce light, okay? And I talk about this a lot. It's one of those concepts that's very essential to lighting. It's very essential to making your characters and your renders look realistic, because light doesn't just reach an object and stop right there. They bounce across the objects. They kind of mix and match with each other. So when you're able to capture the colors of the bounce light, it makes your entire scene so much more believable. And this is a 10 out of 10. Can we stop with the good videos now? I wanna let loose on some of you guys. How I draw a female torso, okay. Oh, interesting. Wow. Okay, that's interesting. I've never really seen this technique. I mean, okay, look, I guess it depends on the person, but I feel like gravity should play a bit of a bigger role here in some areas, if you guys know what I'm talking about. But 6. Your art does not have to be good. It just has to be yours. Okay, interesting. Now, part of me agrees with this and another part of me doesn't, because that part of me just wants to keep learning and growing and getting better at what I do. Here's my advice to you, okay? Find what matters to you. Find what you enjoy. If you're just like me and you enjoy improving and suffering and getting better in that process, don't listen to this nonsense. But hey, if you're somebody who just has a passion for art, you don't care for getting better or drawing realistic, but you just use it as a therapeutic outlet, this is for you, okay? And don't let anybody else pressure you into learning your fundamentals if you're just using it as a form of therapy. It's kind of like writing in a diary, you find that therapeutic, you like doing it, so you just do it, right? It's not because you're trying to become a New York Times best-selling author. That's the beauty of art. It's different to everyone. Understand why you do art. Understand what brings you joy when it comes to art. For me, it's the suffering, it's the learning. It's the constantly not being 100% happy with what I do and constantly trying to improve. I love that shit. But that's not for everyone, and neither is this soft, bubbly, you're good enough bullshit. Just know that whatever artistic journey, artistic path you choose to embark on, I support you and you're valid.
This isn't what artists see. This is what painters need to be able to see, because there's too much visual information out there in the world, and that's why you feel like you're failing at these paintings, because you're doing an impossible task. Painting this is way too hard. We need to simplify what we see so we can make it approachable. If you're focusing on all these little value and color changes in your painting before you get those big groups in, then you're missing the forest for the trees.
1 hour later.
And that means it doesn't matter what brush you use or what program you're using, it's all the same. When we simply establish our big groups first, then we don't get distracted.
1 hour later.
Instead of panicking and trying to think and draw and paint at the same time, I just relax and try to regret what I do. I've ruined many paintings as hard as I can, way too hard. I never teach anyone down the street.
1 hour later.
It's also why I'm not a huge fan of all these channels that focus just on enjoy the process. Why would you focus on that when you should focus on panicking and wild colors? We need to make painting hard for beginners to get into. We're losing that battle. You're doing an impossible task.
1 hour later.
People ask me all the time how I've ruined many paintings. Squint your eyes a little bit and get distracted. It'll smooth over. It shouldn't be hard.
Holy moly. Okay, so I'm not going to make you sit through all that talking, but it summarizes into start with the basics before you start with the details. Understand the big shapes before you start worrying about individual strands of hair. A very important message and a very good philosophy to get out there, especially because beginners tend to get caught up drawing the details. One really good way that you'll see a lot of pro artists try to simplify their subjects in the moment is they'll just squint their eyes. When you squint your eyes a little bit, suddenly your subject becomes a little bit more blurred. You kind of squint out the details and you can kind of focus on things like the silhouette, the overall color. You see people do this a lot in more academic settings like life drawing. They'll squint a little bit as they view their subject, as they view their drawing, to kind of get the details out of the way. So that's a technique that actually genuinely works. Try it out next time, and it's something that I've been using all my life, you know, not because it's something used by choice. It's just, I'm Chinese.
In order to not make a bunch of mess when drawing your characters eating churros with chocolate, they need to lick the lukewarm chocolate out of your churro. So to draw this type of scene, you will start by simplifying the mouth into geometrical figures. And you will also need to simplify their tongue. I'm really gonna ask you to try to be creative with this. And by creative, I mean to please experiment drawing your mouth, licking the chocolate in different angles. And you may ask, boo-boo, but why is that so important? Well, because you need to get out of your comfort zone and lick it in different ways.
Okay, so I'm gonna just, how do I block and report here? 1 out of 10. Just when I thought TikTok was gonna give me a break today, the algorithm was like, no, you're getting traumatized today. This painting just paid my rent for the next 6 months. This can't be real. This gotta be rage bait. The ratio is a little off. Yeah, you don't say. This looks like a premature birth stunted leopard that just got stung by a bee in the face. Really? No, this is just rage bait. Okay, good. I was about to say, who's paying for that? Because if someone's covering half a year's rent for something like that, I am in the wrong niche of art. All right, guys, we're gonna call it there at the special leopard. I just got rage baited. Now, if you learned anything new, if you enjoyed any of these videos, please go support these creators. Go show them some love for putting out good content on TikTok. Some of them. Subscribe if you want to see more art related content, and check out my Patreon if you want to show the channel some support and also get monthly tutorials. With that being said, I love you guys very much and I'll see you on the next video. Friggin' licking chocolate off a churro is gonna be stuck in my head for like the next week. Why would you put that imagery out there, bro? Like, this is why I have so much unresolved trauma, okay? Every time I work through something emotionally, I open TikTok again and boom, there's a new one.